And, okay, I think this was meant to be 3, but I've accidentally made it part 4.
And what's your favorite monster and why?
Again, I don't remember.
This part I do regularly because I used to collect the card game like mad. And whilst I don't collect the cards anymore, I do still have my old decks, and I still play them either against friends or myself when I'm really bored. But my favorite monster, which one I just managed to get in a booster pack by complete chance, it's Tyrant Dragon. Just because it was so freaking awesome. It's like this dragon, which has a cool design, is incredibly strong. It was like about 100 points underneath Blue Eyes White Dragon or something, which for those of you who don't know is like meant to be the strongest. It's especially in the show, less so in the card game, but it's meant to be like one of the strongest monsters out there. And without boring you to death over the details of the card game, it's incredibly strong, and it has some really, really awesome effects that can pull your ass out the fire many times. And it was the centerpiece of my dragon deck for a long, long time. So, in fact, actually, it still is, come to figure it. So, yeah, that's my short answer. Tyrant Dragon, it's just too awesome.
Speaking as someone who's just looked that up, yes, it's awesome. So...
Wow, you really looked that up in that one?
Yeah, I did.
Fair enough.
So, because the only monster I really clearly remember is the Blue Eyes White Dragon itself, let's move on.
Okay, fair enough.
Part 5, final part. If not, then do you at least watch the anime? We just got it.
Yeah. In summary, yes, I did up until GX when I gave up entirely.
Yeah.
And wow, I just realized we've accidentally pissed off a lot of GX fans.
I don't think there are actually that many, to be honest.
True, but still. At this rate, we're going to have to do a Fire Emblem part of raising an army just to make sure we don't get killed in the next...
Oh wow, we're doing great this session.
Yeah, okay. And finally, our final 3 questions all come from GameCat16.
Question number 1. Have you ever heard of the PlayStation 1 RPG Legend of the Dragoon? If so, would it be worthy of a VGT review?
No, but honestly, everything is considered a VGT review, especially if it's a request, because the one I'm currently working on right now, Battle Ogre 64, was a request sent to me by Sven. I looked up a playthrough and then played the game when it was finally available in Europe, not that I'm bitter or anything, and I won't give away my opinions on it, but let's just say I felt it had enough material to make it a good review, so yeah, it's a combination of if I can't get access to the game myself, whether I can find a good video walkthrough of it, and it's also if it has enough good material for me to either make comments on or just take a joke at. So, yeah, good or bad, I'm open to anything in VGT, and if you think there's anything that you think would make a good VGT episode, please just send a request message, but again, by comment or PMs. Right. Out of curiosity, Sven, have you played it, or?
I've heard of it, because I was big on the original RPGs on the PS1, except for Final Fantasy, which I only started playing 5 years ago. But I was big on those RPGs, but I never actually played the game, but I've heard of it, and can't comment on the story, because I haven't really looked it up either, haven't watched it. I know someone who really loves it, I haven't really brought it up to him. So basically, Jonin's answer to that part of the question.
Okay.
Anything may be good if there's enough material to work with.
Question 2. Oh, this is gonna be good.
If you ever met your least favorite fictional character in manga or gaming, what would you do to them and why?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. This is gonna be interesting.
Yes, it
Well,
is.
2 people come to mind. Just one manga and one video game. I would like to confront Sasuke Uchiha and Chitose from Tales of Innocence, which, if you haven't heard of it, don't worry, the game hasn't been released outside of Japan, although someone's released a good translation patch, and I've only completed that game recently. As for my thoughts on it, well, let's just say I'm working on it. Essentially, what I would do to them is the same. First of all, I would make absolutely sure they couldn't reach me, because let's be honest, in real life the two of them would kill me, since they have powers far beyond me. And once that was established, I would just go on a massive long rant about what the hell are they doing? Could you stop being selfish pricks, and point out all the flaws in their logic up until that point.
Yeah, I actually quite like that.
Yeah. It wouldn't be just me calmly pointing out the points, it would be a massive... let's just say it would be reminiscent of Full Metal Jacket. That's
Oh, wow. That's an amazing image in my head.
yeah. Sven, did you think of anything else?
Well, I could certainly think of the character who I'd want to do something to, and I'm just gonna say 2 words. Madara Uchiha.
Oh! That is a good one.
Yeah. Reason being, I blame the death of Naruto's story on him. I really do. Seriously, this character single-handedly killed what was one of my favorite manga/anime, so you can understand I'm a bit bitter.
Yeah.
The thing is about Madara, try as I might, I can't think of what I could possibly do to him to relieve the just rage that I feel towards his character. What can I do? And furthermore, he's basically Aizen, so what would faze him?
That is true. I think the only thing I could think of would be trying to stuff him in a cupboard so that he would never bother anyone again in his plot with it.
Yeah, that... Maybe find some way to lock him eternally in the endless dimension of space with no one around. Nothing to conquer, nothing to plan, just him living out the rest of his days in emptiness.
That is actually a really, really good punishment.
Wow, that... I scare myself sometimes with how good I am at retaliations.
Yes, that would be awesome. Actually, I'm surprised you haven't brought up Aizen already, but then again...
Well, then again, so far he's pretty much got a pretty fitting punishment.
Oh yeah, he's in hell.
Yeah, he's sent to the deepest pits of the most unpleasant place in imagination.
Yeah, okay, that is actually a good point. I'm trying to think if there's any other character I feel that way too, but no, those two, Sasuke have already ranted on, and I could probably explain Chitose, but let's just say, oh what the hell, oh I'll give it away, let's just say Chitose I'm saving for something I plan to do in a spin-off series to VGT. Foreshadowing. Anyway, question. And so we now move on to the third question, which is a pretty odd one.
If Donkey Kong were to die, which Nintendo character would you prefer to be his slayer?
This is a weird question, I'd have to say. I'm going to assume you mean which Nintendo character would I want to be DK's assassin, and best answer I could figure out of my head would be Rob. And the reason why is because A, I would be able to play all my favourite Nintendo games without throwing up in disgust and self-torment, and second of all, I would just have a perfect object to hate. In fact, if Nintendo played the extremely odd move of having Donkey Kong killed off by Rob the Robot, I would be able to track down an antique Rob and then just use that as a perfect tool to take out all of my hatred on, essentially. I'd be able to beat it up with the blood metal swords I have as part of the Dark Age reenactment. I would be able to set him on fire. I would be able to take out every single... Yeah. And then I could just be happy to get on with my day, so...
I'm not sure how I can top that answer, really. The whole Rob thing kind of speaks for one of my ideas, which is have someone I hate kill him so I could take out my frustrations on that character, but then again, most of the Nintendo characters I hate are utter and total jokes, so it would be an insult to DK.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I would suggest one of the Nintendo characters I like, but the problem with that is, like I said, I would probably never be able to play their games again if I did that, so...
Yeah, it's the same problem here.
Yeah, so I'm gonna leave you with a psychotic image of me pulverizing Rob the Robot and leave it at that.
Oh god, now I have this impossibly silly, yet impossibly awesome, yet impossibly stupid image in my head of the Twilight Princess soldier beating up Rob.
Oh, jeez.
And coupled with a line, "That's for my helmet!"
Oh, the reason why that's especially funny to me is that I know what's going to happen with that soldier in the ogre battle playthrough, so it's unbelievably fitting. But anyway,
Oh god, I gotta do my voice acting so that thing can be over with.
Yeah.
And released.
Yeah. Okay. And with that is the last question. So
Now, time to paraphrase another monkey broadcast. It's over.
oh dear. So yeah. That said, we do love your questions, and if you feel like sending any more to us, please go to...
Yeah, drop this channel a PM.
We'll be more than happy to answer your questions, no matter how many you send us, although keep in mind we haven't got...
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm not sure if people will ever be this generous again, but if you feel like it... I never thought I'd be saying this, but time to move on to the next section.
Video games!
Normally this section would be over and done with by now, but essentially this is the section where we review video games that we've been playing this month. And Sven's told me that he hasn't been playing that many games this month, so...
Yeah, all I've been playing is Pokemon, the old games, and I played some more Valkyria Chronicles, and I would like to revoke my argument the last VGT. They did not in fact take out snipers. In fact, they added in a feature from Fire Emblem. Promotions.
Ah, okay. So the suffering was got on when they returned it.
Yeah. Basically, scouts promote into snipers now.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
So
Okay.
yeah, I am perfectly happy with Valkyria Chronicles 2 now. I can play the game through and through with no complaints.
You can now kill people from the other side of the map to your heart's content.
Yeah, I can now have my oddly brutal pastime. Anyway.
As for me, there's only one game I've been playing this month. It's kind of odd because we briefly mentioned it at the very beginning of this Q&A, believe it or not. If you can remember that. I should probably explain. It's a Mega Man game, but even with my passing Mega Man knowledge, I know this much. Because Capcom, unlike some other series, like to have a continuous story between them or introduce new gameplay features, there have been different classes or incarnations of Mega Man. First, there's the classic one, which we pretty much have established through my playthroughs and pretty much everyone who thinks of Mega Man already knows. Then there's Mega Man X, which is kind of like the future incarnation, kind of like Batman Beyond for those of you who remember that series. It's essentially a sequel where you play a character named X and sometimes another character named Zero. He was kind of the breakout character for that. And that series was very similar, although it had the misfortune of... It came out at a time when voice acting and just dubbing in general wasn't taken seriously, so X-Files has the infamous internet meme, "What am I fighting for?" line, so...
Oh yeah. This I could actually say I know perfectly how bad that voice acting was because I mentioned before that one of my friends is a religious fan of Mega Man, so I just know just how terrible that is.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that. Then after that, for the Game Boy Advance, they had sequel to the future, yeah, it's a bit weird, called Mega Man Zero, which essentially saw Zero waking up a few years into the future and helping the Resistance fight a mysterious foe. There was also an RPG series, I think it was on the N64, maybe on another system as well, called Mega Man Legends. But in between Zero and Legends, there is another series of Mega Man platformers for the DS called Mega Man ZX. And so we are now going to be focusing on the second game in said series, Mega Man ZX Advent.